In Ireland, the most important product of forests, which is timber. They generate revenue for forest owners. That's an important part of the economy, and we really need timber. Like anyone who walks into any home in Ireland, it's one of the basic components of the home is timber. Whether you're looking at the structure of the house or the kitchen table, that all comes from trees and forests. So it's in everyday life, trees are important from a global level right down to, doing your homework.
What drew you into being a forester and involved in this world?
Forestry was very young at the time. That was back in when I started in forestry in UCD. That was back in the late 1980s, and we were back at 4% forest cover at that stage. So even in that, we moved to 11%. So there's been massive land change in that time. I saw a kind of an opportunity there in a sense that it was something new. There weren't many people who were qualified as foresters at the time, and all the forestry was done through the state, whereas now that was the start of the private forestry era. So there's an opportunity for somebody who had no farming background like me to actually get involved in rural communities and in land management.
Could you talk then a little bit about the different types of trees that are planted in Ireland?
There's a big range of trees planted. We don't have a large range of native species compared with kind of European countries. So on the native woodland front, they generally tend to be oak, birch, kind of hazel, Scots pine. Ash was a big component before ash dieback. Those kind of dominated forests. And then on the commercial front, six spruce has been the leading conifer species in Ireland for a long time, not just in Ireland, but in the UK and Scotland as well.
Could you talk to me a little bit about what is the current state of tree planting and forests in Ireland in relation, I suppose, to how we compare to other European countries?
Forests in Ireland were reduced down to about 1.5% of national land cover. So that's where we had got to. And we're now at about 10%. And that's a result of over the last century, a kind of afforestation policy or national forestry policy. Successive ones. We're still one of the least forested countries in Europe. We have a national target of about 18%. We're still far behind where we once were, far behind our European partners, and there is ambition for Ireland to be much more forested.
You mentioned earlier government support and ash dieback. I'm just thinking about grants and the grants that are available for for tree planting and for forests.
The grant system is there to more or less 100% support the capital cost of planting a new forest. So it's that's good. I mean, and it's generous, and there's additional premium payments, annual payments which are paid as well, which are also good. And they're kind of weighted in favour of planting particular types of forests and native forests, broadleaf forests. So those are policy initiatives.
In a general way, Paddy, do you think it's possible to make a good income from forestry and trees?
The average forest in Ireland's private forest in Ireland is about 8 hectares, and so with an 8 hectare forest, you're not going to be a full-time forest owner with that as your only source of income. It's a supplementary source of income, which can help with pension provision or just supporting family income. But with larger forests, yes, and I mean, there are investment funds operating in Ireland, so clearly there's good returns from planting and from managing forests.
If you could make one change to support tree planting and forests in Ireland, what would that be?
I think I'd really want to revisit the whole administration around forestry and try and make it more customer focused and less to people. Yes, we have to do things right, and we have to make sure that state money is being wisely spent and all of those things. But that can be done in a friendly way, rather than the way forest owners and landowners feel is that they're always on the back foot, or that they're about to do something wrong, or they've done something wrong when they haven't. And I think they just need an arm around the shoulder or a helping hand, rather than being told what to do and what not to do all the time.
Well, thank you, Paddy, so much for your time and for giving us such an illuminating talk on all things trees. It's been really amazing. Thank you very much indeed.